There is a forgotten chapter in the story of human health. A chapter buried under money, power, and the rewriting of medicine. A chapter that begins long before Big Pharma existed, before synthetic drugs were the center of everything, before the system decided that sickness was more profitable than health. This is the forbidden history of natural hormones, the molecules your own body was designed to use, and how they were erased, censored, and replaced. Not because they were dangerous, but because they were powerful. Today, we go back to the beginning. Back to the moment when medicine still cared about healing. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, scientists around the world were making an extraordinary discovery: the human body wasn't controlled by mechanics alone. It was controlled by messengers. Invisible chemical signals. Hormones. In 1905, the word hormone was officially introduced. But what came next was even more shocking. Researchers found that these natural hormones controlled inflammation, shaped bone growth, repaired tissues, protected the brain, balanced immune responses, regulated mood, energy, appetite, metabolism, libido. Every system, every organ, every cell. Natural hormones were the code that kept the human body alive. This discovery should have changed medicine forever. It should have created a new era of healing. But it didn't. Because something else was happening at the exact same time. Something far more powerful. At the same moment that natural hormones were being discovered, a billionaire oil family was taking control of the entire medical world. The Rockefellers. They bought medical schools. They funded pharmaceutical research. They shaped entire institutions, the AMA, the FDA, the curriculum of universities. And what they wanted was not healing. They wanted control. Natural hormones were a threat for one simple reason: nature cannot be patented. Real progesterone? Not patentable. Estriol? Not patentable. Testosterone identical to the human body? Not patentable. Bioidentical molecules? Impossible to own. But synthetic hormones, artificial chemical versions, those could be patented. And patents meant money. Patents meant monopoly. Patents meant power. So the system made a decision: erase natural hormones. Promote synthetic ones. Rewrite the entire story. How do you erase something that works? Simple. You create a replacement. You market it aggressively. You fund studies that highlight the benefits and hide the risks. Then you label the natural version as weak, unreliable, or alternative. This is exactly what happened. Real progesterone was replaced by progestins, synthetic chemicals linked to inflammation, depression, blood clots and cancer. Estriol, one of the gentlest estrogens, protective for the brain, immune system, and mucosal tissues, was pushed aside in favor of synthetic estrogens that made billions. Testosterone, one of the most anti-inflammatory hormones in the body, was demonized, especially in women, because balanced testosterone meant less fatigue, less pain, less depression, less inflammation, less medication. And a population that needs less medication is bad for business. The system didn't just replace hormones. It rewrote human physiology. They turned natural healing into danger, and synthetic dependence into medicine. The greatest irony of all is that the real science, the real, peer-reviewed research, has always shown the opposite of what the system claimed. Progesterone bioidentical reduces inflammation and protects the brain. DOI 10.1016/J.JSBMB.2014.10.010. Estriol regenerates tissues, improves autoimmune conditions, and protects mucosal barriers. DOI 10.1210/CHM524593. Estradiol maintains bone density, protects the heart, and reduces neurodegenerative risk. DOI 10.1902/Jock.2010.090631. Testosterone improves metabolism, reduces pain, increases strength, restores cognition and boosts immunity. DOI 10.1111/J 1365-2265.2004.02048.x. DHEA improves mood, energy, immunity, memory, resilience to stress, and reduces inflammation. DOI 10.1210/Chim.83.8.4993. None of this fits the pharmaceutical narrative. None of it benefits a system built on lifelong dependency. So the research was buried, the discoveries forgotten, and society moved into a new era. The era of chronic disease. Look around. Autoimmune diseases everywhere. Anxiety and depression at historic highs. Burnout, brain fog, chronic fatigue. Osteopenia at age 40. Infertility exploding. Inflammation as the root of every diagnosis. Post-COVID syndromes that destroy quality of life. People think this is normal. It is not normal. It is engineered. When natural hormones disappear, the body collapses. Inflammation rises. Bone density drops. Immunity weakens. Metabolism shuts down. Neurotransmitters fall apart. Energy evaporates. Mental health declines. Pain increases. Aging accelerates. And this collapse creates exactly what the system needs. Lifetime customers. The truth about natural hormones threatens everything the modern medical system is built on: chronic illness, repeat prescriptions, lifelong treatment plans, dependence on synthetic drugs, endless testing, and a population too sick to fight back. But here is the truth they could never erase: the body knows what is natural. The body heals with what is natural. The body recognizes what is natural. When you restore bioidentical hormones, everything shifts, inflammation falls. Energy rises. Sleep heals. Anxiety fades. Pain decreases. Immunity strengthens. Metabolism wakes up. The brain becomes clear again. Life returns. Today, despite censorship, pressure, and suppression, natural hormone therapy is rising again. Doctors, researchers, and practitioners around the world are rediscovering what was buried. People are healing. People are waking up. People are realizing that the narrative was wrong. That the system was not built for health, it was built for profit. And now, finally, the truth is resurfacing. Not because the system allowed it, but because the people demanded it. This is the forbidden history of natural hormones. A story erased by power. A story buried by corporations. A story you were never meant to hear. But a story that is returning now, unstoppable. If you want the next chapter, if you want the truth that was buried, the truth about health, medicine, and the system, subscribe now. Because the next episode is even more forbidden.